If your energy crashes every afternoon, this is not a motivation problem. Nor is it a discipline problem either. Most people feel sharp in the morning. They start the day focused, clear-headed, and productive. Then somewhere between early and mid-afternoon, everything changes. Concentration drops. Tasks feel heavier. Simple decisions feel annoying. And almost immediately, people turn inward and blame themselves. They tell themselves they are lazy, that they should be more driven, that other people must have more willpower. But that story is wrong. What you are experiencing is not a personal failure. It is your body responding to signals it has been trained to follow. Once you understand those signals, the afternoon crash stops feeling random, and fixing it becomes logical instead of frustrating. We are taught from a young age to think of energy as something mental, something you summon with effort. If you feel tired, you push harder. If focus drops, you motivate yourself. If that fails, you add caffeine or sugar. But energy is not created by effort. Energy is regulated. Your brain and body are constantly making adjustments based on inputs like blood sugar, hormones, light exposure, stress levels, and daily timing. When those inputs are aligned, energy feels steady. When they are not, energy drops no matter how motivated you are. That is why two people with the same workload can feel completely different by mid-afternoon. The afternoon crash is not a failure of willpower. It is a predictable biological response. One of the biggest drivers of that response is blood sugar. Most midday meals are designed for convenience, not stability. They are often heavy on refined carbohydrates and light on protein or fats. Think sandwiches, pasta, snack foods, or quick grab meals. These foods digest quickly. They cause blood sugar to rise fast. Your body responds by releasing insulin to move that sugar out of the bloodstream and into cells. When this process happens too quickly, blood sugar drops just as fast as it rose. That drop is felt as fatigue. Suddenly, your mind feels foggy. Your body feels heavy. And everything that felt manageable earlier now feels harder. This is not because food is bad. It is because rapid spikes are followed by rapid crashes. Stable energy comes from steadier fuel. Protein and fats slow digestion. They flatten the curve. And that flatter curve means fewer dramatic drops in energy. Another major factor in the afternoon crash is cortisol. Cortisol often gets labeled as a stress hormone, but it plays a critical role in daily energy. Cortisol naturally rises in the morning. It helps you wake up. It sharpens alertness. It prepares your body to engage with the day. As the day goes on, cortisol gradually declines. This decline is normal and healthy, but modern life interferes with this rhythm. Chronic stress, poor sleep, constant notifications, and non-stop stimulation flatten the curve. Instead of a smooth rise and fall, cortisol becomes erratic. By early afternoon, the drop feels sharper than it should. Instead of a gentle decrease in alertness, you experience a sudden dip. That dip feels like exhaustion. This is why the afternoon crash often feels emotional as well as physical. Patience drops. Irritation rises. Motivation disappears. Your body is not broken. It is overloaded. Light exposure also plays a bigger role than most people realize. Your brain uses light as a timing signal. Natural daylight tells your body it is daytime. It supports alertness, focus, and mood. Indoor lighting does this poorly. Most people spend their days under artificial light that is too dim to fully activate alertness systems, but stimulating enough to confuse the brain. Screens add another layer of mixed signals. They stimulate your nervous system without providing the biological cues that real daylight offers. So you sit indoors, under artificial light, staring at screens. Your brain thinks it is active. but your body does not receive the signals it needs to stay energized. This mismatch creates mental fatigue even when you slept enough the night before. Then there is caffeine. Caffeine does not create energy. It blocks the sensation of fatigue. When used occasionally, this can be helpful. But when used constantly, the body adapts. Tolerance increases. The effect weakens, and the rebound becomes stronger. Afternoon caffeine often delays the body's natural recovery signals. That delay pushes fatigue into the evening, which then interferes with sleep, which makes the next day's crash worse. Coffee is not the enemy. But timing matters far more than most people think. The solution to the afternoon crash is not extreme. It does not require supplements. It does not require cutting entire food groups. And it does not require forcing motivation. It requires clearer signals. Start with the midday meal. Aim for balance rather than fullness. Include protein. Add healthy fats. Keep refined carbohydrates reasonable. This slows digestion and helps prevent rapid blood sugar swings. Next, use light intentionally. Step outside for 5 to 10 minutes in the early afternoon. Natural light, even on cloudy days, provides a strong alertness signal that indoor lighting cannot replace. Then add gentle movement. You do not need a workout. A short walk, light stretching, or simply standing and moving for a few minutes is enough. The goal is circulation, not exertion. Movement tells your nervous system that energy is needed. Finally, time caffeine smarter. If possible, delay the first cup slightly in the morning. And avoid caffeine later in the afternoon. This protects your natural rhythms instead of fighting them. These are not hacks. They are signals your body understands immediately. You do not need more motivation. You need fewer energy leaks. When you stop fighting your biology and start working with it, energy becomes more consistent. Not perfect, but predictable. And predictable energy is powerful. Pay attention to the signals your body is sending. Small adjustments compound quietly. That is where real energy comes from.